This is Koestanbaum, another coffee time. So before we go into the dynamics and the steps of finding our purpose, what we can do in our world, I wanted to share some of the quotes and authors that I really adore. So I wanted to spend time on this video. So one is from my book. It's Create a Life You Love book, and I obviously have a lot of things that I have marked here, and I have put a lot of my teachings, what I learned in this book, like in 2015. Actually, it started with writing my blogs when blogs wasn't a thing, because I want to share everything I learned. Then I put them and brought all of them in my own book. I'm not going to read the parts that I wrote, but some of the quotes that I have accumulated in this book, because I think they're very important about finding meaning in our lives. So the one is from Nelson Mandela. It says, "There's no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Isn't that true? What if we use all our potential? Another one that I use a lot is, "The two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why." For Mark Twain. I love that. This is anonymous. It says, "If you're not afraid of your dreams aren't big enough." Yes, we're supposed to feel the fear, but still do it anyways, right? "It's never too late to be what you might have been." George Eliot. And this is for all of you who are watching and think that you're too old to change your life or find some meaning in it, which is definitely not true. At some point, we're going to talk about the people who have found more purpose in their lives, maybe started new businesses really, really later in life. So it's never late, and I agree and believe that. One of the most courageous things you can do is to identify yourself, know who you are, what you believe in, and where you want to go. That's from Sheila Murray Bethel. Yes, it is brave to do this work. You need some courage to find out who you are. That's why a lot of people, and many people, don't want to even start this process. Paul Coelho says, "One day you'll wake up and there won't be any more time to do the things you've always wanted. Do it now." Yes, let's not postpone this work. Let's start right now, wherever we are. Then Gandhi says, "The difference between what we do and what we're capable of doing would solve most of the world's problems." I'm sure he's right. We have so much potential and capability lost in the world. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step, says Martin Luther King. So true. I was that person. If I didn't see all the steps from A to C, I wouldn't start. And then you just put yourself into a box. And once you start, even with the baby steps, there's so many other things that open up that you wouldn't have known. This is Peter Koestanbaum. I got to know him in just the last 1-2 years. Amazing guy. We'll talk more about purpose in the workplace later, but not later today, but in other videos. But I want to read something that I love and always share in my talks. "Work for the average person is external to life, and therefore experienced as a constraint on life itself. Time pressure is actually the pressure of existential guilt. People feel stress because they're not living up to their meanings, and bureaucracy thrives on guilt. When you find your meaning, instead of managing time with the outside in, you are time, an inside out approach." I love that, especially this part. Work for the average person is external to life, and it's seen as a constraint on life itself. So true. We separated life and work. And why? And we know the why. We're going to look into the history of why we got here, but it's crazy. That's why when some people tell me we don't want to talk about work, I say my work is my life. I don't have a distinction between the two. I love my work. So I love what he says here. This is from another friend of mine, Bryan Dick, called Make Your Job a Calling. There's so much in here too, but I'm just gonna read this only. When people have a calling, their sense of purpose and meaning at work aligns with their broader sense of purpose and meaning life as a whole. As you might imagine, this kind of alignment gives a person a sense of stability and coherence in his life. That's what we want. And of course, start with why. Simon Sinek, and he talks mostly about companies, but this is what he says. People who love going to work are more productive and more creative. They go home happier and have happier families. They treat their colleagues and clients and customers better. Inspired employees make for stronger companies and stronger economies. Isn't that true? And there's just few of us who do this. And I totally believe we can have more of us to do the same. I'm sure over time, when I go through other stuff, I'm gonna put some names out there from the authors and the books that I read. I'm a big reader. I learned a lot of things from these amazing people who wrote these amazing books. So there's gonna be more of that. But I thought this is a good, little stop to talk about what people are saying about purpose and having meaning in life and at work. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye-bye.